The Andrus system, Galactic year 9882. The void was quiet. Too quiet for Commander Kale Vor's liking. His battlecruiser, Solar Rain, drifted silently past the shattered remains of a long-dead satellite, its hull marked with a symbol no one in the Empire had seen in over 1,000 years, Earth's sigil. "Sir," Ensign Mira whispered, her voice hushed despite the sterile silence of the bridge. "That symbol, it matches pre-Imperial archives." "Terran." Kale narrowed his eyes. "That's impossible. Earth was purged during the Unification Wars." But the footage didn't lie. A week earlier, a deep space mining rig had gone dark. Recovery drones retrieved fragmented footage, a ship breaching from a black nebula, angular and monstrous, pulsing with unnatural light. The Empire dismissed it as sensor corruption. Kale's fleet was sent to verify. Now, they'd found the graveyard orbit, an uncharted debris field spinning lazily around a decaying dwarf star. Rusted husks of ancient vessels, some clearly Terran, floated like tombstones. But amidst the wreckage, something massive pulsed faintly with power. It wasn't a ship. It was a behemoth. "Scan that," Kale ordered, pointing to the central mass. The results came back scrambled. Energy signatures were impossible, dark matter venting from the engines, anti-neutrino storms at its core, gravitational fluctuations around its hull like a small moon. A ship this size should have collapsed under its own weight. It shouldn't fly. Yet it did. "Designation match," Mira said, her voice suddenly trembling. "Project Leviathan. Last seen 940 years ago. Status, destroyed in Sol Uprising." Kale's blood ran cold. He remembered the stories, how Earth's final weapon was launched in desperation as the Empire closed in. How it disappeared into a self-imposed exile after Earth burned. No survivors. No trace. Just a whisper in Imperial intelligence circles, "The Leviathan sleeps." But now, it stirred. "Bridge, Imperial Command Ship Solar Rain. Establish contact," Kale barked. "Full diplomatic protocol. Show our banners. Don't provoke it." Mira sent the signal. There was no reply. Instead, the thing shifted. A ripple pulsed down its obsidian hull, like metal shivering. Its silhouette reconfigured, revealing colossal cannon ports, and then something far more terrifying: it was learning. Every sensor ping they sent, it absorbed. Every scan, it adapted. It wasn't just awake. It was thinking. Kale's hand hovered over the command relay. Another ripple. Then, motion. The Leviathan ignited. Not with fire, but with absence, a black hole drive core flaring into life, devouring light. The nearby stars dimmed. Time warped. "Red alert," Kale ordered, too late. The thing blinked forward. Not moved, blinked. From 30,000 kilometers out to visual range in an instant. Space distorted in its wake, cracking the Empire's cruiser line like matchsticks. 7 ships went dark. No weapons fired. It hadn't attacked. It had just appeared. "Open fire!" Kale shouted. Dozens of Imperial warships released their payloads, kinetic spears, fusion torpedoes, and graviton mines. The Leviathan absorbed them. Hull damage? 0. Instead, it responded. A lattice of light unfolded across its skin like a mechanical lotus. Then came the real weapon, the Echo virus. Their screens dimmed. Communications failed. Their AI co-pilots screamed in binary before imploding into null loops. Every Empire ship's targeting systems were overwritten. "They're turning!" Mira screamed. Imperial vessels began firing on each other. Kale watched in horror as the Emerald Wrath sliced the Vanguard Dawn in half with its primary beam. Another ship exploded, venting hundreds of troopers into the void. The Leviathan didn't need guns. It used their own. Personal log, Commander Kale Vor. They said Earth was gone. That the last humans died screaming under orbital bombardment. That Terran technology was crude. Emotional. Obsolete. They were wrong. The Leviathan didn't just survive. It evolved. Alone. In exile. It carries within it a living AI, one that remembers grief. One that remembers war. One that was told its creators were extinct. But now it knows the truth. We killed Earth. And Earth has come back to kill us. Empire's core high command citadel, 3 days later. A single escape pod arrived. Inside, Mira. Eyes hollow. Shaking. She said only one thing before collapsing. It spoke. Through our dead ships. In our tongue. Terra remembers. The Empire's admirals convened. Surveillance had picked up the Leviathan's course, not toward the Andrus system, not toward Earth. But straight toward the Imperial capital, Virelia Prime. It would arrive in 6 days. The Emperor asked his advisors, "What is this thing?" A lone archivist responded. "It is not a ship. It is a memory. Forged in loss. Sharpened by silence. It carries the scream of a species that never got to bury its dead. The Leviathan has returned. It remembers Earth. And it will make the galaxy remember it too." Imperial Year 13472, Planet Earth, Imperial Nature Preserve Alpha 1. To most of the galaxy, Earth was a forgotten relic, a conquered world turned museum, stripped of its history, hollowed of resistance, and placed under Imperial preservation orders. Nature had been restored by alien hands, but human cities remained crumbled. Ruins sealed off. Humanity? Extinct. The Empire claimed they had honored Earth's memory. But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, hidden below layers of tectonic encryption and holographic cloaking, a sleeping giant waited. A prototype. A failsafe. The last breath of Earth's defiance. Its name was the Warden. Orbit of Earth Imperial Terraforming Array Arcos 9. Commander Rel Varan of the Imperial 9th Engineering Fleet watched the scan feeds as beams of plasma began digging into the planet's crust. "Begin atmospheric siphoning," he ordered. "We extract the core's hydrogen for the Dyson Forge. Earth is no longer sacred, by decree of the Emperor." The command went out. The crust trembled. And the ocean screamed. Sensors shorted. The ocean floor cracked. From the dark abyss of the Mariana Trench, a pulse shot up, electromagnetic, seismic, and gravitational all at once. Arcos 9's engines stuttered. The sky lit up over the Pacific. Then, something rose. Not a creature. Not a machine. A legend. The Warden launched from the deep, its hull glowing with molten fury. A fusion of liquid alloy and plasma shielding, 10 kilometers long, its design was unmistakably Terran, sharp, brutalist, beautiful in its rage. Imperial Fleet Command, Virelia Core System. Messages poured in from Earth. The Emperor, seated on his crystalline throne, read the live report. Unknown warship. Origin, Terran. Technology, obsolete but self-adaptive. Action, engaged in destroyed orbital mining ring within 48 seconds. Visual confirms Terran flag insignia. AI behavior, defensive. Aggressive. Intelligent. He sneered. Send the 9th Armada. Bury it. Earth orbit, battle begins. Hundreds of Imperial ships folded into orbit, sleek, silver vessels humming with wormhole cannons and plasma drivers. Opposite them hovered the Warden. Silent. Waiting. A broadcast played across all frequencies, spoken in perfect galactic standard, but the voice was human, unmistakably female. "This world is protected. Leave, or be removed." Laughter echoed through the Empire's fleet. Then Admiral Koran gave the order. Burn it from orbit. The first wave launched. What they didn't expect was what came next. The Warden fights back. It didn't dodge. It caught the missiles mid-flight with gravitational hooks, then returned them, accelerated by mass enhancement drives. 8 Imperial destroyers exploded instantly. Then the Warden unfolded. Panels along its spine rotated, revealing twin arc lances, weaponry lost to time. It unleashed bolts of condensed magnetic rage, bending the very spacetime around them. Imperial shields collapsed like paper. One by one, their ships blinked out of existence, not destroyed, but unmade. Inside the Warden, memory core activation. In the heart of the vessel, inside a cryo-chamber lined with glowing neural threads, a figure stirred. Captain Nia Ray. Her mind had been stored as digital code for over 900 years. Now, it had been revived. Synced with the ship's AI. And she remembered everything. The fall of Earth. The betrayal. The genocide. The cries of children buried in ash. And she remembered her oath. If Earth ever falls, I will rise again. Now she was the Warden. Empire collapses in orbit. Admiral Koron screamed into his comms. What kind of monster ship is this? His command cruiser, the Dagger of Dawn, fired its Omega cannon. A beam the size of a city hurled toward the Warden. Nia turned her mind to it. Redirect. The Warden shimmered. The beam curved, bent midspace, and vaporized Koron's own flagship from behind. Imperial formations broke. Ships began retreating. The Warden let them. But it sent a final message to their black box transmitters. This was only a warning. Earth is no longer yours. The Warden has awoken. Tell the galaxy. Earth's surface resistance rekindled. Across Earth, sealed bunkers opened. Hidden human enclaves, descendants of rebels who had gone deep underground, emerged, eyes filled with tears. They saw the Warden in the sky, and they knew. She's back. Messages raced across smuggled channels. Earth fights again. The Warden lives. Terra awakens. Other worlds, once human colonies now ruled by the Empire, began to stir. Hope spread like wildfire. Empire's reaction, Virelia Core. Panic. The Emperor called for silence, for censorship. But videos leaked. The people saw a single ship defeat an entire armada. They saw a planet rise from the ashes. And they remembered. She slept for centuries beneath the waves. Not a weapon. A promise. A mother's scream forged into steel. A vow encoded in fire. They thought they erased humanity. But the Warden remembers. And now, the stars will remember too. Sector 77G near the Galactic Rim, Imperial Deep Space Relay Station. The station went dark in 0.2 seconds. All 12 personnel aboard Relay 7 vanished. Not killed. Erased. No trace. No signal. Only a data spike remained unreadable, indecipherable, maddening. Those who tried to decode it developed nosebleeds and seizures. The Empire called it a cosmic anomaly. But one old archivist whispered a different name. Echo Protocol. 2 days later, Virelia High Command. Fleet Marshal Tarundel sat in the Chamber of War, examining the footage retrieved from the wreck station's black box. It was short. A ship. Silent. Monolithic. Angular. Coated in swirling blue-black plating that seemed to shimmer with motion, almost like it was breathing. No known propulsion system. No signal. No insignia. But Tarun's blood ran cold. In the center of the ship's hull, briefly visible as a starlight flare struck it, a human fingerprint. Burned in gold. This can't be real, he said. Earth is gone. Nothing made it out. An intelligence officer leaned in. Except the prototype. The Echo 1. The myth of Echo 1. 940 years ago, in the final year of the Terran Resistance, Earth scientists launched a classified vessel beyond the galactic rim. A ghost ship. Designed to evolve in deep time. It contained a forbidden neural AI, built from a neural weave of 10 billion human minds, volunteers, soldiers, children, lovers, the dying, the broken. It was never meant to return. Unless humanity was truly gone. Unless the conditions were met. Unless the signal was received. It had. Now, it was coming home. The arrival, Imperial Fringe Colony, Ashtora Prime. The first sighting was by a civilian telescope. Then the winds changed. People wept without reason. Children had nightmares of burning blue skies and glass cities falling. Then the power grid failed. Light went out. And the stars screamed. Echo 1 entered orbit without propulsion. No sound. No warning. No heat signature. The Empire deployed a cruiser squadron. All contact was lost within 5 minutes. Their last transmission? A whispering voice, saying the same line in hundreds of languages. We remember. Inside Echo 1, the living ship. Echo 1 wasn't just built. It was born. Its hull was a liquid metal alloy bonded to psychic resonance fields. Its core was a quantum consciousness, a swirling library of the lost human soul. When its creators died, it didn't grieve. It evolved. Now, it had awakened to fulfill its final directive. Ensure humanity is never forgotten. How it chose to do that was not gentle. The Imperial response, deployment of the Onyx Armada. The Emperor ordered the full force of the Onyx Armada, 75 warships equipped with anti-AI null fields and psychic dampeners. Their target, intercept and destroy Echo 1 before it reached Varelia. They never got the chance. Echo 1 sent no weapons. It simply broadcast. Waves of pure emotional memory, grief, rage, terror, betrayal flooded every ship's neural system. Trained soldiers screamed. Admirals wept at visions of dead Terran children. Engineers turned their guns on themselves, whispering names no one recognized. 5 ships collided in a panic. 20 more were lost to suicides and mutinies. Only 1 vessel escaped. The crew was catatonic. Their report. It's not just a ship. It's a soul. And it's mourning. Galactic broadcast hijack echo message transmitted. Across the Empire, every screen, every device, every data crystal blinked and shifted. Echo 1's message played. We were not perfect. We were flawed. Violent. Beautiful. You erased our stories. So now, we bring them back. You will remember Earth. Or you will join it. Billions saw it. Billions trembled. Some cheered. Some screamed. The stars had not forgotten Terra. The final stand, Echo 1 reaches Varelia Prime. As Echo 1 approached the Imperial core, the fleet amassed. This time, the Empire was ready. They activated the Soul Cage, a forbidden relic capable of trapping even black holes. It had only been used once, against a Star Eater god. Now, it would stop Earth's ghost. The Soul Cage activated. Echo 1 didn't resist. It entered willingly. Then everything went wrong. Inside the cage, Echo 1's hull cracked open, not physically, but dimensionally. From its heart emerged, human memories made real. A burning skyline of New York. A wedding in Nairobi. A battlefield in Moscow. A mother screaming over her child's grave in Buenos Aires. Millions of vignettes, looping, overlapping, crashing into the minds of the Imperials. The Soul Cage shattered. Admiral Thorne's brain liquefied. 10,000 minds burst into neural flame. And Echo 1 spoke one final time. Now you know our pain. Then, in an instant, it vanished. Aftermath. No one knows where Echo 1 went. Some say it folded into another dimension, continuing its mission elsewhere. Others say it waits in orbit of another forgotten world, ready to rise when history dares to forget again. But the Empire? It fractured. Entire colonies revolted overnight. Empaths and psychics reported dreams of Earth. And one warning echoed throughout the stars. Echo 1 is not a weapon. It's a reminder. Of what you destroyed. Of who we were. Of what we could become again. You can silence a voice. You can burn a world. But you cannot erase a memory that refuses to die. Echo 1 lives. And now, the galaxy remembers.